Hey there, how are you? Thank you for watching my video. My name is Bas, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to create a stunning, interactive 360-degree virtual reality tour of your listing. So if you're a realtor or if you have anything to do in that market, you have to watch this. I'm going to give you a demo on how this is done. I'm going to show you how easy it is, and I'm going to tell you how cheap it is to do this. So even if you already have a photographer that's working for you, you have to watch this because this can be a game changer for your business. What I'll be doing is I will be creating a virtual tour of a house. It's actually my own house here in the Netherlands. So I prepared some files. I took some pictures with the Insta360X camera. I prepared them as well because I took out the tripod picture on the bottom. I'll show you a little bit later. Prepared some logos and things like that. Put the files ready. And I created an environment as if you're a photographer for a realtor and you're now working on a way to make a virtual reality tour of a listing. Okay, so let's start with the SeekBeek software. It's www.seekbeak.com. That's the software that we use. It's software that's used in a browser, so you won't have to install anything on your PC or your Mac. It supports most of the browsers, so there's no issues there at all. It's a thin client, so let's just use that. Below the video, I have a couple of links that will link you to demo versions or even the purchase versions, and we'll give you some free stuff, which I'll talk to you about a little later. Let's first look at the SeekBeek interface. Right now, you see here snaps, maps, groups, reports, and user icons. A snap really is a picture, a 360-degree picture, and you create multiple pictures in order to make a tour. Well, before we do anything, let's make a group, and a group could be a listing of a specific house. All right. So here we don't have any groups at the moment, so let's add a group. Punch this one down here. Let's call this one a demo realtor. And we'll call that as a public display name as well. Okay, we won't have to do anything else. We'll just add the group by clicking here, and it has added it. Now, when I go to the snaps, what I really want to do is I want to take the 360-degree pictures and upload them into the group. So let's select that group here, managing snaps in a group. Let's see the one we just created, demo realtor. Here it is. Okay. And we press the plus. We want to add photos to it. All right. So we drop images or files here. I mean, it's really easy to do. So let's take the photos that I prepared. Here's the demo front door, the demo hall, the kitchen, the living room, and the office and the street view. Let's take those 6 and let's add them to the snaps. All right. I'll get rid of this one here. And we'll show you. So it now has a bunch of pictures. All right, let's go to the first one here, the demo street view. We'll call it demo street view. We'll call it demo office. We'll call it demo living room. It takes the name of the file and puts it in there, but you can change that any which way you want, right? So now that I've selected the files that I want to upload, I'll just have to say upload it. And what it's doing now, it's taking the files and uploading it to the SeekBeek servers. Obviously, this is going to take a little bit of time depending on how many users are active at the moment, how big the files are, and how fast your internet connection is. So if you have a slow connection, it's obviously going to take a little bit longer. So we'll fast forward it until it's all uploaded. I promise you it only takes a couple of minutes, probably a minute at the most per picture. So that's really acceptable. Okay, so it's uploaded the pictures to the SeekBeek servers. Now what it's doing all kinds of magic at the SeekBeek, in the SeekBeek software, and it's making the snaps, we call them. It's all done, so you see that it goes relatively quickly. Let's put these things in order. Let's first start here with the street view. That's usually where we start when we start looking at a house, and from that we'll go to the front door. And from the front door, we'll go into the hall. And from the hall, we have the office that we can go into, or we can go to the living room or the demo kitchen. All right. So that's basically the snaps that we have. Let's see what that does. So here we have the first snap. On the top, the information, it says Demo Street View. Now let's change that to not Demo Street View. Let's call it my street name. Okay, Wilnis, the Netherlands. I don't know if it's going to fit, but we'll find out. There we go. Okay. Now the good thing about this is there's a lot more to it with this part of the snap. You can, for example, replace the image. So let's say you're taking a picture of the house in the wintertime, and really what you want to do is show the springtime with flowers in the front yard and all that kind of stuff. All you need to do, you don't have to change any of the interactivity, which you will be putting in there a little bit later, but all we need to do is we can say, well, let's look at the media, let's drag another file in here and replace what we have today. We're not going to do that now, but just to show you that it's very flexible and you can do all kinds of things. Oh, something else that's in there. It will give you the latitude and longitude numbers of where this house actually is located. You can use that within the snaps, within the virtual reality tour, to create a little icon on the right here, which is a map, which shows Google Maps in the location of the house. Okay? So that's why this is in here. This is what it's recorded when I took the picture, actually, with my camera. I use an Insta360 One X, which is a very high quality prosumer camera, which is perfect for these types of shots. It's good for the realtor market. They only cost about $400 to $500, which is not too much. You also get, if you buy them through the link below, you get an invisible selfie stick, so you won't have all the nasty stuff in the pictures. Let me show you, by the way. So let's get rid of this one here. Let's show the bottom here. So right here is where the tripod is located. But what I did with my software, I actually use Affinity software. I don't use Adobe Photoshop. It's just a preference that I have. But if you use Adobe Photoshop, you can do exactly the same things. But I took away the tripod here, so it's actually as if the camera is floating in the air. You don't see anywhere where the camera is located. All right, so I made it totally invisible. Now that invisible selfie stick on which the camera is positioned, that's also included in the link that you can press below to buy the camera. So if you're a photographer and you don't have this equipment, it's not a big thing to buy a camera for $500 and then take some of the software, which is cheaper than the rest of the software out there, and start making these tours. Okay, so I'm drifting off from the demo. Here we have snap number 1, and the top information I spoke to you about. You can change all of that. It will give you some data. You can turn everything on and off if you want. So if you don't want your users to see this little window, you can turn that off in the options. So I'll show you in a little bit how to do that without getting into too much detail. Okay, now on the bottom there's also a little window which basically says, well, I can share it, I can full screen it, I can see thumbnails of all the pictures. Let's do that. Those are the pictures that we just uploaded. Okay, now I can share all of this information, which I'll be doing a little bit later. I'll show you how to do that. But how do you, for example, take these tours and put them on the website? Or how do you share it with Facebook? Or how do you put it on LinkedIn? You can even mail it to people, things like that. So that's really neat. But let's just edit some of this stuff. Let's press edit, and you see that at the bottom, this is your master area of how you edit things. Okay, let's start with preferences, right? Because what we want to do is we want to create some preferences regarding this house, regarding logos, regarding all that kind of stuff. Right? So when I press preferences, I get a lot of options here, which I can browse through. Okay. For example, auto rotation. What that does is when you spark up this tour, it will automatically start rotating. That's what I'm saying here. Auto rotate on load. I can say on or off, right? And I can say, well, after I don't have any activity within this picture, so if it's standing static on my screen, after 10 seconds, I want it to start moving at a speed of 4, right? So you have a 4 to 10 the speed, and 4 is usually a good one. And you can make it spin right to left or left to right, right? So that's one. Now, I spoke to you a little bit about the tripod picture on the bottom. If you don't have the software, if you don't have the skills to take away the tripod out of a picture, there's another trick of doing that. Actually, the bottom part is called the nadir. So what you can do is nadir patching. So basically what you can do is you can say, well, I want the nadir to be on. I want to show a logo of my company, of the realtor, of whatever it is. Okay, if you're doing a virtual tour of a company, you can put the company logo there. If you're doing it for a retail shop, you can put the retail logo there. In this case, if you're doing it for a house and you're a realtor, you can put your own logo there. So let's grab my logo and let's put my logo in there. So here's a file. Let's see if I have them here. Logos. And I have my logo here. Let's drag it over. It's a JPEG, and I put the JPEG in there. Watch it. This needs to upload it to the system, and it does its magic. And here it is. Now, let's make it a little smaller. All right, the more distance, the smaller it appears. So let's make it 90. Right, out of 100, let's make it 90. So it's not too big. I don't want it too big. But if your tripod legs are a little bit bigger, all you need to do is create a closer distance, and the nadir will become larger. So let's put it back on 90. All right. So I'll show you in a second what this does. All right. Now you can do the same on the top with the zenith, but in this case it's just clouds and everything, and so we're not going to be doing anything like that. But what you do want to do is you want to probably do some custom branding, right? So by doing some branding, you can place a logo, a clickable logo, anywhere on the screen. So let's turn it on first. In this case, I'm going to say bottom right, but you can say bottom left, top right, or top left. We'll say bottom right. What's the custom URL? Okay, we're just going to say http://www.360spots.com, which is my company. Oh, I made a spelling mistake there. Okay, and I'm going to be dragging something out here. I could add a custom text if I want. I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to take a file. All right, let's grab that file. There we go. My logo. This is another logo. I'm just for demonstration purposes. What I'm saying here is put a little branding out there, and it's going to say your logo here. You can see it on the right here, a little grayed out. Okay, I can make that smaller, and I can make it bigger. So let's put that one on 100 as well. All right. Now, so I've done the nadir, I've done the logo. What I also want to change is the field of viewing. I have it set at 100, but you can say, well, I want it closer up or I want it further away. And I think 100 is in this situation is probably pretty good. Okay, so I've done most of the stuff I want to do. Let's add a geotag. I told you about the little map, the Google Maps integration. All right, what we can do here is allow users to toggle the geomap. Let's turn that on. Okay, and I want it opened. I want it closed when you open up the picture, and I want it for the group, and initial zoom level, and you can put all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to get into detail. Let's make it a roadmap rather than hybrid. Okay. Then we want to save all these preferences, and the preferences I want to save not just for this snap, not just for this picture. I want to save it for all of them, because this is going to come back to every single one. So here's the demo realtor group that I made. It's the current group, and I'll say save preferences. All right, now it's saving the preferences, and what you can see now is, let's close the edit box here. On the right, we have the map. All right, Google Map. I can zoom out. I didn't do the zooming correctly, but no worries about that for now. It should be showing a map. It's probably my internet, but just, there we go. Okay, so this is the Google Maps. I've added the logo here, so when I press on this logo, it will go to the website that I put up. Here you see the little tag saying click to visit http://www.360spots.com. Okay, that's the branding. If I go to the bottom, here's the nadir. Now the funny thing about the nadir is that when you place it on there in SeekBeek, it does a little magic. When I turn the panorama around, the logo stays straight. Try that with any other software. What you see is that logo turns along with the picture, and at a certain point, if I'm looking at the other side, my logo will be upside down. That's unacceptable, right? Okay, so we've done the basics, and we only started with the first snap. From here, we want to go to the front door. So let's do that. We'll say edit, and we'll add the plus. Now, where do we want it? Let's place it on the car here because it's not, I don't like to see the car really. And it says here, new hotspot. Now, in order to edit that, simply click on it, and it opens up a window. And without filling in the name right now, let's fill in the type of hotspot. There's many types. There's the URL. There's an email hotspot. There's an audio hotspot. Image, and not just an image, but an image gallery if you want. And I'll show you that inside the house. A telephone hotspot. So if you see a telephone and you put a hotspot on it, the system will call that number. You can embed stuff like videos, and I'll show you that in a while as well. You can even add e-commerce and put a signal URL in there as well. So Internet of Things, you can connect to this. You can put flares in there. So if there's a sunshine going through a window, make sure that you see the flare. And you can also do a snap. So we go from one snap to another. And that's what we want to do. We want to go to the front door. So let's go to that snap. All right. And from the groups that I have, I want to have the demo realtor because that's what we're working on, right? Okay, let's choose the ones that we have. Now it's not going to list the one we're on because you can't jump from the same one to the same one. So we're going to go to the front door, all right? And automatically it will take the text that the file was called when we uploaded it, and let's call this just front door. Or if you don't want anyone at all, you can just leave it empty, and you can just see it like that. Let's leave it empty for the moment because you understand that that's the way to go. Now we can make some colors. We can say, okay, let's make the background red, right? And make it appear a little bit better. And the reason I'm doing that is that I can show you some little gimmicks that we have built in the software. All right, let's save it for now and see what happens. Oh, you don't see the red yet, so let's save it. Here we go. Okay, so now when you hover your mouse over it, it will enlarge it. Now let's do a little trick here. What we say is we're going to say custom. We want some more actions for this icon. For example, we want to animate it. Let's say there's an area within the snap that you want highlighted. You can make a pulse, for example. You can see the example on top here. Okay, we can make a pulse, or we can make it go like a seesaw. Right? And I really don't like this thing, but it's in there. And if you want to draw attention to the icon, this is what it does. All right, so let's save that one. And we can also customize some other stuff with it. We can scale it. We can say, well, let's make it a little bigger, right? I'm not going to do that, but you can. So there's lots of settings that you can change. Right? So we've created our first hotspot, and it's the only one in this picture. And we have the logo and everything. So now let's go into the front door, to the front door. All we do is we snap on it, and you go to the next one. So this is the front door. We were just over there. So let's create a way back as well. Right? We'll add, and we're going to do a little quicker now for you. Right? New hotspot, type, snap, and let's grab the demo street view. And I don't want any text there, and I want it to be invisible. And we'll say accept. All right, save it. Now we can go back. All right, there we go. So now we can go from one to the other. Now let's go into the front door. So you're getting the idea how you can start making the tour. All right. First, what you do is you go make the whole tour. Let's go into the hall. Just say welcome. Okay, save it. So welcome. Let's go into the hallway. And from the hallway, we also want to go back outside. So let's create a little tab. Oh, let's create a little tab here to go outside. Type, snap, front door. That's it. And let's add another one. Let's go into the study. Okay. Add a snap, type, snap, choose. Okay. In the US, you call this an office and not a study, right? So this is the office. Accept it. And that's fine. And let's also go into the living room. Living room here. Snap, type, snap, living room. Get rid of the text, snap, save. All right, now let's do the study first. Let's go into the study. So again, we're first making the tour. Oh, here's a shadow of me, so you have to be careful taking those pictures that way. Plus, here, and we want to use this as a snap. And the snap goes out to the hall again. And again. Save it. Nope. Accept it. And that's it. Now there's many more to do. So let's see, we still have the kitchen and we have the living room, and okay, let's go into the hallway again. And we went to the office. From the office we went back into the hallway, and okay, now we go into the living room. When we're in the living room, let's create another snap to do two things. One is to go back into the hallway. Hallway. Save it. And I'm going to go into the kitchen. Type, snap, kitchen. Now, so basically, no, we're not done yet. We're not done yet because we want to go from here to the kitchen, and from the kitchen we need to be able to go back, otherwise it's a dead end. So let's make it go back to the front. Make this a snap as well. Living room. Okay. And let's add one to go into the hall. Snap. Choose a snap. Hall. And okay. So basically, we are done with the tour without adding anything to it. Let's change this because I forgot to take out the text. Boom. Save it. Back to the hallway, and from the hallway, the front door. Okay, so we're outside here. Let's create in the hallway, we're going to be putting some information about the house, all right? How do we do that? And this is where the interactivity comes in. So let's put the plus again, put it right on the door, or do we, let's put it right on top of here, all right? Put it right on top of the kitchen, a new hotspot. Now, let's make this not a snap like we've done before. Let's make this a text. Well, it's default by text, right? So let's take the text editor, we'll open it up, right? And we'll take some of the text that we already have. Let's see here, some of it. Land info, school information, etc., etc. Okay, and let's copy that and let's paste that in here. Now imagine that you're taking pictures for the realtor, and the realtor already has all this information about the listing that you're selling. So you're not going to have to come up with this if you're the photographer. If you're the realtor, you probably have some standard text that you use. Well, you can use this. You can add pictures to it. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can do a different font. You can make this font size larger. You can make the colors. You can change everything you'd like with it. All right. Let's just leave it default like this. Save it, and let's call this description. All right. And let's make the color a little bit different in this case. Let's call the description red, and we'll make the icon yellow. I think it's this one. Let's see. No, that's the background. Okay, we'll make the background yellow. That's fine. And let's make the text blue. And I'm doing this just to show you that you can do all kinds of stuff with all the variables. All right. So now we have. I don't like this one, but let's change that color a little bit. Let's change the yellow back to orange. Make it a little more like that. Okay, that's good. Fine. Not going to worry about it. All right, so now we've done the description of the house. When we tap on that, it gives you the information which you just pasted in. Right? So you're within the 360 tour, and you can get that information. Now, let's add a video. All right, and obviously you can go upstairs and all that kind of stuff, but we're not doing that for the demo. Let's place a video on the wall here. All right, so we add right there, and let's say the type is an embed code. When you have a YouTube video, you can embed code in there. So embed code is right here. Let's grab the embed code. Let's see where I have it. Somewhere over here. Okay, so I went to YouTube and I said, give me the embed code. So I copied it and I'm pasting it right in here. Right? Let's change the color. You want that? Yeah, I don't like that icon. So let's change the icon to, and here's all the icons that we give you. Okay, there's a whole bunch in there, but that's probably not enough for you. You probably want to make your own. So and that's absolutely possible. Right? For example, like BMW here is one of my clients. Right? There's different ones, but there's a YouTube. Here it is, a YouTube icon already. So let's call that one YouTube. Do we want that? Yeah, let's make that a seesaw. Right. On, fine, that's good. Okay, accept and save. Now watch what it does. So here it is. Here we still have the description, which we can look at. But it also has that new hotspot. Oh, I didn't change that name. So let's change the name. We'll say video of the house. Boom. Okay, save it. Let's see what happens. We go on there and we press tab. Here we go. This is where the video starts. This is a video made with the Insta360 One X camera. And it gives many possibilities, but I'll do another video on how to make videos with 360 cameras. All right, good, you got the idea. So we're now in the hall. We've done enough in the hallway. Again, what we've done outside is the nadir. We changed the nadir, right? And we still have that logo here. So that is pulled through the whole thing. Now let's go into the kitchen. And let's figure out something we can do for the kitchen. There's some text we want to add about this kitchen. So let's put it on here. And let's grab that text. And it's basically about appliances. Let's copy that and paste it. Boom. And kitchen. All right. Give it a nice little color. There we go. Save it. Alright, stuff about the kitchen information. Now imagine you're looking at a heating system, or you're in the garage. You can talk about the two-car garage, or appliances that you have somewhere, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Electrical garage doors, you name it. You can all name it. You can all name it here. I have floor heating, for example, so I could say Well, let me add a little icon here, and let's call it. Let's show it as being an arrow down. No, let's try a different one. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we'll take the arrow down. This one. Okay, and without doing anything, we can just call this floor painting. So, and it's all integrated. So that's basically what this all is. Now, if you want to navigate through to the different pictures, you can just press the thumbs button. Again, you can turn this on or off. So you can go outside right away and press the thumbs button and go to the living room, and you can do all that kind of stuff, right? This is how you make something interactive, and this is how you engage something. An interesting feature of SeekBeek is the ability to upload a plan or a map, so as we call that in SeekBeek. Let's do that. It enables you to look at, for example, the ground floor and go from one place to the other, or you can add the second floor, the third floor, or whatever you want. So let's go to maps here. Okay, press the plus button, and we need to grab the text. Okay, so let's grab the text, the picture, I mean, of course. Let's grab image 0217, which is a plan. All right, here we go. Let's call this the ground floor. Okay. All right, so the ground floor is just like a snap is put into the system. Now, obviously, you can add more plans to it, but for the demo's sake, we just have one. Okay, so it uploaded it. It did its magic in the SeekBeek servers, and let's just handle it just like a snap. All right, we get the picture here, and we go into the edit mode, and let's press a plus, so we add. And let's add a snap here. Now, what is it that we want to add? Well, we want to add a snap, which is the front door, right? That's the front door. Okay, add it there. Add another one, the living room up front here. And we choose a snap, and we go living room. And let's add one more, just for the sake of the demo. And we'll call this one the kitchen. All right, let's save it. And the map is there. Let's go back to the snaps. And when you're in the snap, let's go to the living room here for a second. Demo living room. Suddenly, on the bottom, it shows the icon maps. When I press on that, it will show you, in this case, the ground floor. With this drop down, you can have different floors, right? So we go to the front, and we go to the living room, and we go to the kitchen. Okay, it's just another way of going through your virtual tour. Let's add something, because there's a telephone here. Let's add a little phone here. All right, icon. Nope, I'm going to do it different. So what type is it? Let's go to the telephone. All right. Call me. +31 634 75556. Now, don't all call me now. Accept. Save it. No. Again, I can change the colors and the looks and all that kind of stuff. We're just going to keep it default for now. So what happens now with that call me button? It's about engaging with the customer. If he likes this house, I want him to call me right away. So I can say, okay, call me. But when I'm on my mobile phone and I'm looking at this house and it says call me, it will actually call that number that you programmed in. Okay, so that makes it really interesting to engage with your customers. You know, think about the television. Put a YouTube video about your company in there. You can do all kinds of fun things. I mean, it's limitless, really. All right, and this for $8 a month. Now, something really important, because what you want to do with these virtual tours is you want people to share it. Because I know someone who might be interested in this house. How do I tell them that this is an interesting house? Well, the share button right there is how I can do that. I can either put it into LinkedIn, I can put it in an email, I can put it through Facebook. It's just a tap of a button, right? So if I want to put this on Facebook, I press the Facebook button. It's going to grab my information now, my login information. And I must admit my internet is pretty slow today. But here we go, right? So I'll say something about this and it's on my timeline. I don't want to do that now because this is a demo. But what you can also do, and which is important for you realtors, is you want to integrate these tours into your website and into your listings. So you press the little link button there, and we give you a public URL. We host this stuff. So when you pay $8 a month, we host all these houses for you. There's no extra charge. If you have 10 listings, that's fine. If you have 100, that's fine as well, right? That's a risk we take as far as what it costs us, and we serve this through Amazon. So there's limits to that as far as on our side is concerned. But you get to host as many as you want. You get to share it as much as you want. So there's no limit there, and you see that a lot with these software offerings in the realtor market. That for $25 you get 15 listings that you can do. Well, what if you have 16? Suddenly you're going from 25 to $50 a month. I mean, that's not acceptable. So we're saying $8. If you take a 12-month subscription, if you take it per month, it's $10.39 or something like that. And we host it. So when we host it, we make sure it's available and it's all secure, right? So there's the public URL, but there's a title in the URL. So if you're putting it in an email, if you want several listings in an email to send to a customer, right? But there's also responsive. So if you're making this on a PC, right, with a wider screen, and you use this code to paste it into your website, and when they see it on a mobile phone, when the screen is smaller, automatically the window decreases and it'll take care of visualizing it correctly, right? So there's all kinds of advanced settings that you can use. I'm not going to get into that, but this is how you do it, right? So that's as much as the hosting is concerned, and the sharing of it makes it really easy, and that's good for business. Okay. What else do I have to tell you? That's basically it. So here we have it. We have a complete interactive virtual reality tour for $8 a month. Again, links are on the bottom of this video. If you plan to use this, then use it through the link below, because you get a free month. If you don't want to do that, use the link below to take the demo. And the demo is limited to 3 of these panoramic photos, so you can't do a full house on it. The icons which you use are not fully all available. You can't change the picture. So if I have another picture of the living room here, I might want to change it. You can't do that in a demo version. I mean, there's a bunch of limitations in the demo, obviously, because, with all due respect, we want you to buy it rather than to use the free version all the time. But it's good to try it and to do some stuff with it, to share it with your colleagues and see what's up with it. Tell your photographers about it, because it's really not much of an investment to do this. Oh, by the way, what I also wanted to tell you, what's important to understand when you buy this as a realtor and you have a photographer, you can actually set up another person to start using this. So while you, as a realtor, have the rights to the software and it's all in your name, you can get a photographer to add stuff to it, right? To put the pictures in there, to make the interactivity, but it's all on your account, right? Rather than having the photographer having an account and sending you the links and having him hosting on his account. So that may be a consideration of how you treat the pictures of your clients. I hope you enjoyed this demo of the interactive 360-degree virtual reality tour. This can be a game changer for you, and the sooner you start with it, the better it is. So what I've done is I've spoken to the CEO of SeekBeek Corporation, and he has decided to give you guys a 1-month free subscription if you sign up through the link below. That's free stuff on top of this low price already. It's $8 a month, so you can't go wrong on that. Even if you do it for 12 months and you decide it's not worth it, you know, what's $100 as far as that's concerned. But hey, if you don't want to spend those first $100, that's fine too. There's a link down there as well to use the demo version. It will limit the amount of snaps that you use, the amount of photos that you can upload. It will limit the amount of icons that you can use. So there's specific limitations to it, but that's okay. At least you can get a feel for the use of this software. Now, I've also included a link down there for the Insta360 One X camera. Use it if you want to start making 360 pictures the easy way. I mean, you can use your DSLR camera, or if you have a photographer, the photographer can start using that as well. That's a matter of taking 21, 36 pictures, or however many that is, stitching them all together and making sure the panorama is all nice. For your workflow, that's a really long process, and that's why the Insta360 One X, with the high quality pictures that it makes, is good for this business. That means you don't have to spend hours on end within a house to take all these pictures. Okay? It also takes videos, it also takes, you know, it does a lot of stuff for your business, and it does it in a very efficient way, and the quality is really high. So I hope to see you back sometime. Please sign up for the subscribe to my videos. I'd really appreciate it. And if you do want to try, use my links, because that will give you an extra month free of use of the SeekBeek software. All right, thank you and take care.